Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 96. What day is it? Who knows? What time is it? Who knows? Time is meaningless in the dimension of dreams. Things got real bad real quick for our friends.
Real bad.
Oh.
Here's the status.
No.
Dabwick is dead. Tima is alone in the one-time sundry shop. Vic is standing just outside the sundry shop, vanity in hand, having just finally blown away this animate dream. And Grip was last seen running away from the animate dream, which is now dead, but Grip does not know that. At the far southwest corner of the forsaken caravanserai, Grip has ducked into this old, decrepit, abandoned, empty, or not so much, hard to tell, dining room where he both simultaneously sees no one and many people. The thing he does know is he heard the sound of his own voice, recognizing him as he enters. He's got enough movement left to bolt through the room and out the curtain at the opposite end of the room and into the next hallway. Go ahead and make that move there, Robert.
Through the doorway or just to the doorway?
Go ahead and go through it. We're going to stay in rounds. Gripper, you burst through this other curtain. Now, the two curtains on this dining room area are a little bit more sturdy. They don't completely fall to pieces. They just sort of wisp away off of you as you pass through.
Did I see myself?
Did you?
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Neither do you. I will say this. You're in such a state of panic, right?
Uh-huh.
You were certain, when you entered the room, you were certain nobody was in it.
Uh-huh.
Then you were certain it was filled with people.
Uh-huh.
You heard the sound of your voice, you started running, you bang through these tables and dive out this curtain, and maybe the last thing you saw out of the corner of your eye was the fancy red leather boot of Gulliver Vaticus's Renaissance daredevil getup.
Oh.
You find yourself in a very narrow 5-foot hallway that goes left and straight ahead of you. You know that left turns you back to where you came running from. So, looking down the hallway in front of you, you see 50 feet of straightaway and a turn to the left, to the north. You also see another one of these curtains halfway along the wall on the north side.
Uh-huh.
Let's roll randomly again to see where you go.
Do you have 1 billion feet of movement?
He's about to hit the end of his movement.
Map, so
What are we saying?
Through the curtain is even, all the way to the other end of the hallway and turn left is odd.
oh my God.
It's odd.
All right, so I think you have 10 more feet of movement left there, so why don't you just finish off that double move. Meanwhile,
Hi.
on the entirely other end of the complex, Tima is inside this room.
And Dora is inside Tima, trying to get back out.
And they're all inside of a dream.
This is horrible.
So Dora
We have
wants to
made
climb out.
a terrible mistake. We should have retired in Thrushmore. I will make a concentration check, DC 17.
All right, you got this. You can do it.
One would think.
And now that I've said it,
Oh my God! I only make it when it doesn't count. Well, Tima's hanging.
she's clinging. She does not want to leave control.
Oh,
What'd you get? What did you roll?
I got a 16.
Oh!
And I'm not spending an action point.
Okay. So what does Tima do?
What does Tima do?
She never gets, like, an opportunity.
Is there
to
a
do
body?
No, the shopkeeper has evaporated.
I am basically alone and have control of the body.
So I will remind you again, all of these, the walls are lined with shelves. Countless numbers of shelves there's piles of dust and ash and heaps of rags where sundries had once been.
No items.
Well, It doesn't look like it. You want to investigate? A lot of things in here don't seem to be as they appear.
Here's one thing Tima could do.
Yeah.
Shh. Oh, there's a Vorpal sword in here.
Yes. Grip dropped it when he ran away.
So one thing I was thinking I would do is use the mnemonic vestment to cast Detect Magic in this room.
Just as a fuck you to Dora?
Yep.
I think given the antagonism of your ongoing conversation, that's a fun choice, Katie.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Hey, and across the room, underneath a pile of rags, Tima catches sight of a moderate aura of divination.
Oh, she likes divination.
So some, like, magic item or magic aura left behind from a caster more powerful than her.
He wants it.
You want to walk over there?
I did.
Oh, yes. So underneath this pile of rags, on the shelf next to where Grip dropped his +1 Vorpal scimitar.
Which she sort of kicks aside with her foot as she goes.
You find an impeccably cut and polished ruby that is radiating a reasonably powerful aura of divination. Give me a spellcraft check.
Can she do that? I remember you all
Tima
talking about
in what she can do.
that Tima is like always like a raging
Yep, let's see.
Yeah, check it out, Katie.
spellcaster.
Can't use intelligent-based skills. So,
Okay. So she recognizes this aura. She sees this magical gemstone, exquisitely cut and polished, multifaceted. It's like the size of a golf ball.
sadly, her turn is over.
Oh, okay. So she's going to contemplate it?
She spends it thinking about what she should do with it.
Vic, we're back to you. You just watched Tima walk across the room, kick the Vorpal scimitar out of the way, and now she's running her paws over this incredibly fancy-looking gemstone. Meanwhile, you can hear the sound of Gripper howling in terror and his feet slapping on the stone floor way to the south of you on the other side of the building. And Dabwick is still dead. Thanks for joining us, Paul.
Tima! Come on! We gotta help Grip.
I'll be along, love.
Fuck! Go!
And I turn and run.
Yeah.
You
all
would
right.
guess she's not big on the owing you thing.
No, I get that, but like, you know, I'm stuck in this awful position, so I'm
Yes,
gonna.
you are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. All
All right, take your move.
right.
We are, in fact, both stuck in this awful position.
We're all
Yeah.
in this awful position.
This is an awful position.
I mean, that's as far as I can get in one round.
So Vic races down the west side of the western hallway of the Forsaken Caravanserai, past the 3 dry wells, closing in on this curtain that Grip just barreled through. Meanwhile, Robert, why don't you take 60 feet of movement? So Grip barrels past this other curtain, obviously leading to some room on the far southern end of the structure. Turns a corner to the north.
There's 40 feet. 60 gets me there.
Oh, interesting. You've got
This is
some.
like speed reconnaissance.
Yes, yes. You're soloing.
I'm helping.
Yes. All right. So coming up, you're going to have 2 choices here. The passage is going to turn to the left, which is going to be another 15-foot wide north-south hallway, like you just ran down, but on the other side of the building. Also, there is an open door to a room to the south. Let's roll randomly again and see where he's going to go on his next turn.
Even door, odd, turn left.
Perfect.
Odd.
All right. We're back to Dora trying to climb outside of
Yep.
Tima.
Let's try this again.
Let's do it.
This shit show of a concentration check situation. All right.
Okay.
With a vengeance.
Dora comes howling back. She's got this gem in her hand.
Yeah, she puts it in her pocket and she runs after Vic.
Great. Take a double move. Vic, you got a choice to make here. You've got this curtain through which Grip went. You've also got a hallway that continues around the room that you can obviously hear Grip on the other side of it continuing to run.
I would be going towards wherever I heard Grip, so if I heard him down the hall, like the sound echoing down the hall, I would turn towards the hall.
I totally buy that. So go ahead and take that passage there on your move. So skirting around this old dining room, not investigating because he can hear Grip on the other side of it, Vic makes his way around this room at the southwest corner of the caravanserai. All right.
And I'm yelling, Grip! Grip! Stop! Grip! Stop! Damn it! Fuck!
He's probably yelling, I'm helping. And so you see another curtain on the hallway straight ahead of you there, Johnny, that looks untouched, like Grip did not go through it, and you do hear him around the corner ahead of you. We're back to Gripper.
Still panicked, am I?
Still panicked, you are.
Just checking. All right, so 5, 10, 15. Would I turn immediately? 15,
Yeah.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 gets me almost to the rubble.
Okay, I think the random die roll helped us last time, Robert, because what Grip is seeing at the end of this north-south hallway, he's coming up on the end of the giant rubble collapse, and it does look like a nice, safe place to climb into and hide, which is very good. At this point, assuming that Vic is chasing after Grip and Dora is following Vic, I think the three of you would be able to catch up with him at the end of where he's at, assuming you avoid going into places he did not go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would literally be making a beeline for him.
Great. Why don't you both of you go ahead and follow the arc of that hallway around the southern edge of the building? So you both sort of gather up there. You find Grip cowering in the corner, quaking and shitting himself with fear.
Grip, it's okay.
Nope.
I got you, brother. I got you. I know what it feels like. I got you. Look at me. It's okay. I got you.
I mean, am I able to listen to anything in this state, or?
By the time they catch up to you and they make some careful approach to you, you eventually feel the fear fading away from you, this fear that you had no control over.
We have to go.
You okay?
I think so for now, but I think Dora's fucking right.
Yeah, shit, this is
very bad.
yeah. You got Rusty? Dora?
No.
Fuck!
It's just across the way there.
All the way back. Okay.
Well,
Stay here.
Well, why don't we all just go back to where it is, and then we'll get the fuck out.
this is just that easy.
There's no need to split the party up for a fucking sword.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So the group of you make your way back.
But I would say avoid that one room with the curtain that I came through. There's something going on in there. I do not know exactly what.
Let's just avoid all the rooms for now.
Agreed.
All right.
Make your way back to the sundry shop where you find the Vorpal scimitar lying rusty and untouched on the ground. Gather around it and then try to wish your way back to the real world.
I mean,
Oh God.
I'm gonna wait until they're gone.
Okay.
Well, if we can take the 20, right? If I take the 20, then
Yeah, we're not in combat right now, so
Yeah.
you can all just take some time to sit down and focus.
If I take a
and-
20, I ace it.
Yeah, make your way back.
I'm totally cool with that. I'm still going to say, like, I would make sure that they were both gone before I went, because I at least have the ability to, like, hide
Yeah.
in a way that they don't necessarily.
Great. So you sit down and watch as the two of them focus themselves. Dora is almost immediately just evaporates. Takes Grip a little bit longer, but eventually he's able to do it after a couple of minutes of internal sand staring.
And then I go.
Whew.
And I do not have the ruby,
You grabbed it.
but I don't have it when I get back.
Oh, yeah, no. You only have it when you get back to the Dreamlands.
Yep.
Eventually, after an endless period of time, a period of time during which Dabwick goes insane.
Oh, God.
Grip is the first to wake. About 45 minutes later, it's Vic. Half hour after that, it's Dora. And then not long after that, it's Dabwick. As each of you wakes, you find that your clothes are damp with blood. You have apparently been bleeding on yourselves. Stasi and Barnabas have certainly done their best to clean you up. But they didn't quite know what to expect this night, so they healed you of the damage that you took when the ritual ended, but have not attempted to clean your clothes or clean your body yet, out of a fear of, I'm guessing, not being entirely certain if it's safe to touch you or deal with you. You come to, and there's this swimming sense of being two places at once as you open your eyes. And as Dabwick wakes, they are shivering with cold. And Polly, Dabwick has just obtained a lesser madness.
I think Dabwick comes out of this dream withdrawn, noticeably withdrawn, avoiding eye contact. And, suffering from the trauma of what they experienced in something else.
And we know the consequences of dying in,
You do.
so we can anticipate this.
Yeah, so the three of you would wake up knowing that Dabs will be suffering when they come to, and you find them shivering and withdrawn. The floor is just sticky with blood. The ivory and bone staircase that you had all passed around this circle is now back to its tiny, tiny little miniature size again. There's no sign of this dark death staircase in the center of this hold. It is the early hours of the 25th of Neth. I think Barnabas and Stasi, seeing you start to come to, seeing you all, expressing some concern for Dabwick and kind of waiting for them to wake up, have given you all some space here.
Dabwick.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you got nothing to apologize about.
If you'd like to talk, I'm here. And I understand.
Yeah, Dabwick's hugging their knees and staring down and just nodding their head. Now, I hear you, but I don't want to talk right now.
Well, we gotta let the captain know.
And we gotta let Katzen know that Dabs is not going to be available for their duties today.
Ketson is, of course, understanding, and since there was no attack on the ship last night, and Barnabas spends a lot of time on the deck anyways, maybe Barnabas can step in to help out with the slack that needs to be picked up.
Yes, wherever you need me, I will be there. Picking up slack.
Then there's some cleaning up to do. Your bodies are dirty and sticky with blood. You feel, oh gosh, Johnny, you've got this set of tattoos that you've been building with like your skin cracking open as if you were like ceramic or something like that. There is a very similar feeling for all of you on your bodies, as though like your blood vessels inside of you all minutely ruptured and leaked blood inside of you, and in places your skin split. It's almost like you experienced this internal event, and also you were like right next to a window shattering and were sprayed with broken glass, which may have been the edges of reality slicing you open as you passed through it. And Barnabas and Stasi can share, from a haunted perspective, a little bit about what they experienced, which was that for a brief window of time, there were two of each of you. You simultaneously each fell backwards and ripped out of yourselves and walked away as reality was cutting them all around them. And then as the last of you, it was Grip, as the last of you descended down that staircase, it was like just like a whomp. And then you were all lying on the deck of the ship, leaking blood out of your mouths. And this little staircase was sitting there, and it was very disturbing to watch. And then you all slept. And as they healed you and maybe tried to see is it safe to move your body, as you were completely non-responsive. Like no sound that happened, no movement that happened. Your bodies were completely unaware of it. So as you knew, but confirmed by their experience, completely 100% helpless while this is happening.
Do we still feel like we slept, though?
That's the craziest thing. You feel like you can go about your day. As you come out of this haze, eventually, you feel like you did sleep. Like, Vic, you're able to, prepare the extracts you want to prepare. Dora finds that she's still got all of her spell slots available. It's like mental exhaustion, but your bodies are okay to go.
So, Dora's going to collect like water, soap, cloth, and bring it near Dabwick, and begin to clean herself and offer soap, water, a cloth.
Yeah. Thank you. Dabwick is sort of half-heartedly cleaning themselves up.
Would you like help?
No, thank you. What do you think we're doing next?
Unfortunately, our objective hasn't changed. The answers we need are still there. And we've a very long journey before we're anywhere else that can provide answers.
How can we ever be prepared?
Well, we can't. Of course. Every time we go, we'll know a little bit more, be a little more cautious. Life is a learning journey. There is no learning without failure. If we accept this, we can go on.
I'm stuck with the feeling of, I felt this way before on the boat. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to be alone.
Right. And Dabwick desperately wants to be alone.
Yes.
So
Dora understands that.
Yeah. All right.
So she moves away, and she quietly speaks with other people on the ship and just says, if we can give Dabwick a little space, a little time, it's crucial that they have that.
Yeah, this vessel that was briefly kind of an instrument of freedom, taking you away from that awful place, the promise of bringing you back, Dabwick, to home, sort of the open road, the wide open lake has now become a prison. I think, Grip was experiencing this a little himself very recently after that blow up he had, and all eyes on him, staring at him in either surprise or judgment or disappointment. And where do you go? You walk to one end of the ship and you stare out and try to pretend like you're alone. The quarters are tight. The quarters are very tight. You can't sleep alone. You can't work alone. There is nowhere to go. Ooh. So, Robert, you had been... I'm interested in how Grip is processing this, because you had been putting it in terms of like, let's check it out, see what we're dealing with, and then make a decision after that. What is he walking away with?
I mean, no clarity. No, like, he's even more at sea, I think, than he was, because there was, the goal of the Dreamlands has always been a little murky to him.
Yeah.
But there was this, we go to the caravanserai and
we unmurk.
That's a starting point. And we will learn things there that will allow us to move forward. And I mean, maybe we still can. We haven't looked at all the rooms.
That's correct.
But like nothing seemed helpful to our immediate objective. And Grip is wondering, because it was so different than we were expecting, is that how it will be every time we go back, or will things be different? Will the shopkeeper be there again because it's in the dream?
Great question.
Like where will everything reset to?
Yeah.
When we decide we're gonna try again, because he's also like, we're going to fucking do that again tomorrow night. I don't really feel like it. So yeah, I mean, he's totally perplexed and baffled, and is concerned about everything, and is concerned about Dabwick.
Yeah. How's Vic processing it?
Vic is remembering how he felt when he was like in the grip of his paranoia, and how he felt like he couldn't trust anyone, and he doesn't know what's going on with them. But with Dabs,
Yeah.
but obviously something is going on very strongly with them, and how everyone had to walk on eggshells around him when he was dealing with something.
Yeah.
And so he's looking at it as like, okay, gotta get Dabs back in the game here somehow. We gotta help them. And I mean, I guess that's a question of like, am I able to make like a heal check or anything like that to have a better understanding of what's wrong with them? Does heal count only as like problems with the body, or does it also count as problems with the mind?
I would be fine with applying it to the mind.
Well, then I would say I'd probably want to try to make a check.
A surreptitious assessment of Dabs. Yeah.
I've been giving them space, but also paying attention to them. Oh, wow. Okay. That is a 29.
Oh. So I can tell you that, sort of like we had to get to the point where the rest of you understood what the specific nature of Vic's madness was. You're able to assess Dabwick as struggling with a profound sense of melancholia. That they are going to be slow to respond in combat situations. They are going to be unreluctant mechanically to accept morale bonuses, which I don't think this party has a lot of, so that might be fine. But the way that Paul is portraying Dabs' behavior is is what you can probably expect. A real sense of being withdrawn, slow to respond to threats, introverted, and if it gets bad enough, introverted to the point of catatonia.
Was there a numerical sanity damage that went along with this?
Yes. So Dabs now has 5 points of sanity damage.
So, knowing that,
Yeah.
I mean, Vic would want to try to talk to him himself, but Johnny also knows that Vic is not the best person to actually talk to
Well,
them.
Dora's offered
Yeah.
for therapy.
I think if we want to look at this morning block, if Dora was down there kind of asking for space, cleaning up, talking to Dabs, beginning the process of just
That was
letting
the
them
intent.
know.
I think Dabwick would still want to perform at least some of their duties for Skywin, like
Okay, sure.
the Alter Winds
Yes.
is necessary for the, but there's kind of an Eeyore-esque drag. Dabwick's dragging their feet
Yeah.
and kind of looking in the dirt.
Yeah. And if you think, I mean, I can see it would make a ton of sense if Dabs is comfortable with kind of Dora being around, and she's, of course, not going to be pushing any conversation, but trying to just be there and talk you through.
Yeah, and if it wouldn't be out of the realm that Dora is someone that they specifically don't want to talk to because they were there, because they were part of it. Dabs has also heard of Stasi's prowess.
Yes, much vaunted.
And perhaps her demeanor, which is not solicitous, is more appealing. And she really doesn't have anything else to do on the ship all day. Right. So, she is always about and available. So
yeah, her job is now to talk to people and to watch your bodies.
There's options.
Dabwick has options that they would know of.
I think on day one, Dabwick would not be
pursuing
seeking out.
That makes sense
Great.
to
Makes
both.
sense.
And I think we should, obviously, I believe, consider not doing the ritual straight away again tonight.
Yeah, what is the plan?
I want to say Vic would give them space, but he would also, at one point, while going by, in the midst of doing his other stuff, go, I wonder what Myacne Mun is doing in Casimir right now. That son of a bitch, he's probably ruining that city. Oh, man. We're stuck here on this boat. I wish there was something we could do. Oh, well. Guess we'll get to it when we get to it.
You're so subtle.
I love it.
That's fun.
Just
Planted some seeds,
trying to
Spark some interest.
Yeah.
Some life.
get a rise out of them somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we do things during the day too?
This is interesting. Knowing that Dora would be reflecting back on what she has read about what they did, what you all did there, let me just walk you through a little bit side by side so you can understand what you have maybe not done that you did before. When the party entered the caravanserai before, you did go in, you checked your weapons, you walked past the sundry shop where you now probably know the guy who was being behanded at that time was left behind because of the psychic trauma. You passed the dining room but seemed to know of it as a place to hang out, where deals were brokered, where conversations were had, where information was learned. So it's probably a place that you all, at the very least, Lols, spent a lot of time in. You then went through the bookkeeper's room, which is almost certainly the room at the southeastern corner that had the door open. Through there, you went up a flight of stairs to the apartments that Lols stayed in. So in terms of the path that you may have, or Lols certainly has, walked in the past, you kind of can get a sense there of, all right, we know what's on the front half of that path, but we know his ultimate destination was upstairs, where
The collapsed room.
right, coincidentally or not,
Not.
the one room left on the second floor is the room where Lols and you all stayed.
So, Dora is out of research projects.
Mm-hmm.
She has spent all the days and learned all the things with the resources that they have. So she would take, a block of time to record all that meticulously. But I'm at a loss for what she's going to do the rest of this trip.
Yeah, it's something she's going to wrestle with, isn't it?
She really is not great at being idle. And certainly it's not welcome here.
I've got a great way to pass the time I can tell you about.
Do you have a name for it yet?
Is it something I would like, or is it something you would like?
No, it's very calming. It passes the time. Before you know it, a whole afternoon is gone and you don't feel like punching anyone anymore.
Well, I rarely feel like punching them in the first place, but I am curious.
Well, it's all about looking at grains of sand. It's very simple.
Grains of sand?
Yes. Yeah, and watching them. So you picture a large group of sand, and you picture hearing the wind blow across the sand, and then you gradually focus closer and closer in until you ultimately get down to a wee little grain of sand and what the wind blowing that grain of sand would sound like, and then all of a sudden your mind is clear and you don't feel like hitting things anymore.
That sounds delightful.
I invented it. I don't know what it's called yet, though.
Still working on that.
Meditation.
What? No. Meditations for the likes of... No, that's what the likes of Dabwick and the smart, wise folk do. I'm just a dumb fuck. I'm just trying to not hit people.
It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's about calming your mind enough to change the way you think about things.
Huh.
Anyone can do it. You have to be intelligent or wise, and not that you aren't.
Well, I'm not. But...
Well,
what do you know? I invented meditation.
Yes.
How do you like that?
Well done, you.
Or maybe when Dabwick feels like talking more, I'll talk to him about that. We can compare meditation notes, huh?
Yes.
As Dora is going back through all the books, just checking through to corroborate. I hadn't seen this one before, Katie. I just found the last thing that Dora left for Tima.
I don't remember what
that
it is now.
is a response from Tima. Here you go. Dora rather imperiously wrote,
Should you find yourself with anything of value to contribute, do let me know.
and she finds a response from Tima.
You first. I owe you nothing. Give if you want to get.
So we know the rest of the day will pass with Grip doing his shift. Roll that die.
A 20.
Fucking hell. He's good. He is good at his job. He's moved on from polling now, because we're also enough days past the sale incident.
Let us never speak of it again.
I think they're ready to start teaching you knots. And that means sitting on top of the on-deck cabin with Lynn and Din yammering endlessly while they walk you through dozens of different knots.
Oh, dear.
And of course, you know, their hands are very small. The ropes are very slick and slippery. It takes a lot of attention and focus, but it might be a reasonable activity to practice some sand stare and meditation.
Indeed,
while you're working.
Yes.
Fantastic. What's Vic working on this day?
I think that Vic would have gotten one of the bows, whichever one Grip would have wanted to pass on, and would be working on that in the morning.
Give it a +1 enchantment.
Give it a +1 enchantment.
What's your choice there, Robert? Do you want it to be the longbow or the composite short bow?
I think the composite short bow, because I'm guaranteed 4 damage.
Cool.
Because I get the strength bonus.
All right, so Johnny, give me a spellcraft check for Vic. This is going to be DC 8.
Oh.
Can you fail that?
No, I cannot fail it.
All right, so by the end of this morning block, your composite short bow, Robert, is +1. How's the afternoon spent for Vic?
Vic would continue to work on his spell research.
So you have to succeed at an alchemy check, which you cannot fail, and then an arcana check, which you can fail. Give me that check.
15.
5 of 7 days successfully completed for making a new formula for yourself. Then when do you think you do go back? Are we going to try to get Dabwick
like this
fully
is,
healed up and sane again before we return?
That's what Dora would suggest.
It seems like maybe not a bad idea.
Take another week?
Yeah.
Get them healed first. Get all their
Is
sanity
Dabwick
damage
willing
healed.
to cast Lesser Restoration on themselves?
That's... What do you think?
There's so little crunch with yours, I'm going to say maybe no. That just seems too hard
on therapy
to do. Yeah, we'd be reliant on therapy.
I feel like Dabwick would be most drawn to speak with Skywin as their oldest, dearest friend in this group. I find myself so sad and feeling so guilty. We went down there for... I feel like I messed everything up, and we haven't gone back. And I know that I've held them back since... I feel like I've held them back since we've gotten together. Skywin, what? I don't know what to do. How do I apologize enough to make up for all I've messed up?
Dabwick, I know the darkness is so deep right now, but the simple fact of the matter is, and I order you, as your captain, to acknowledge that you saved all their lives. You saved the entire town of Thrushmoor from dangers they were not equipped to battle. Now, I was not here in this dream of yours. I don't know what happened. You feel that you failed them there? Well, that's fine. Sometimes we fall down, Debs. But don't you dare erase all of your accomplishments, all the good that you did for my crew, your friends, and the people of that town.
Yes.
Feel your feelings, but don't deny me of my experience. I know you to be capable. I know you to be useful. I know you to be powerful. That's the Dabwick I know.
Today I'm going to start trying to believe that, and I trust you. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, back to work, sailor.
Yes.
She knows how important hierarchy and reporting to a boss and who needs to be responsible.
Lawful.
Yes, that all of that is deeply ingrained in Dabwick. So she's taking a little bit of emotional distance back, and she starts, as these days pass, issuing you. She doesn't genuinely issue you orders, but she does for a few days to try to get you into a routine of spending more time doing, less time thinking. This is not a particular emotion she's battled with before, and she's not as good at therapy as, say, Dabs is or Stasi is, but it's the tool she has based on their long years of friendship, and she's trying to wield that.
There's some wisdom in, if you want to change your mind, move a muscle.
Yeah.
Though I am curious about this sand meditation.
It's a pretty boss thing that I invented.
All right. So if we wait a week, Johnny, knowing what you have on Vic's crafting list, I'm going to ask you to make a couple of checks real quick. We've been doing a lot of these off air, but let's bang these out real quick on air. Give me 2 Knowledge Arcana checks.
2 Knowledge Arcana checks coming up. That's a 27 and a 23.
You have created a new first level formula. Why don't you tell us what that is?
So there are some spells and stuff, thinking about the investigator or the alchemist, that I was like, well, this is very strange that this spell doesn't exist as an extract for them to use. And one of the ones that I thought would be kind of cool was gravity bow. But in this case, rather than gravity bow, it's gravity gun.
Yeah,
what does this do?
Increase your damage die?
Yeah,
That is correct. Let me find it here. It lasts for minutes per level, and in my case, any bullet or alchemical cartridge fired from a pistol you are carrying when the spell is cast deals damage as if one size larger than it actually is. For instance, a bullet fired from a medium pistol normally deals 1d8 points of damage, but it would instead deal 2d6 points of damage if fired from a gravity gun.
So cool.
Only you can benefit from this spell. If anyone else uses your gun to make an attack, the bullets deal damage as normal for their size.
Fun. So I've allowed Johnny to use the research new spells list as part of his downtime activities. And why don't you give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quick spellcraft checks?
22, a 35, a 30, and a 31.
So, a week passes aboard the Sullen Starling, during which time Dabwick is slowly focused on getting back to health. It's only a matter of a day, basically, before they're going to have enough sanity damage removed that they can start heading back into that waiting period to start making the saves to recover. During this period of time, looking at Johnny's list here, after those checks, Vic is able to cannibalize the magic remaining in, we'll do some specific math later, Johnny, but basically remaining in Weirlai's leather armor, the short swords that the mirror monster was carrying, the long sword that you found in the Lowell's family crypts, a whole bunch of the magical chain shirts that were left over from various dandies inside
The wooden armor,
and is able to present Grip with his composite shortbow enchanted to +1. Dabwick with a magical +1 sling. What's the armor you're given? The new armor you're given, Grip, Johnny?
+2 chain shirt.
+2 chain shirt, and turning his +1 large shield into
+2 shield.
And what do you do for yourself?
My mithril chain shirt goes from +1 to +2.
Amazing.
This is the greatest use of shitty magic item
ever.
You know what I mean? Like, This is really satisfying.
So yeah, and so this week passes, and it is just Vic in focused study, like stripping magic out of all of these old leftover tools of your enemies and turning them into ways to pump you all up. That's so exciting.
Love it.
I'll tell you
What's your new armor class, Crew?
25.
Great.
Mine's at 22.
Nice.
That's before shield.
The weather gets colder and colder and colder as you pass the last week of the month of Neth and crest into the final month of the year, Golarian's equivalent of December, Cuthona, named after Ray's beloved Zon Kuthon. During the course of this time, you again pass other ships out in Lake Incarthen. You pass the location of the capital of Razmarin, Thronestep, though, of course, Skywyn goes nowhere near it. And you pass by the furthest out jut of Razmarin land out into Lake Incarthen, and as we pick back up on the 2nd of Cuthona, you do see ahead of you, in the distance, the shoreline of the homeland of the elves, Kyonin. Let me move your ship on your map.
Yay, this is my favorite part.
Shoom, 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 shoom. Whoa.
We ran aground!
Oh, no!
Ran around Razmarin.
You're heading towards the mouth of the Glass River, which is going to be very wide, but sandwiched between Razmarin and Kyonin. Kyonin, which you as mortals are not allowed to enter, and Razmarin will be suddenly very, very close, and you know that the Faith barges, these state-sponsored pirate ships, will very, very soon begin to become a problem. Polly, give me a will save. Let's see if you can knock off this brief bout with insanity.
I thought that was the natural one. It's a 7 on the die, plus 12 is a 19.
As we pick back up, we're going to remember this brief span of time that Dabs battled with melancholia, but fought through it as the weather grew colder and colder, and Skywind kept them on task, working. No time to dally with thoughts of how unloved and unappreciated they are, showing countlessly over the course of the days through small acts of attention. And you can also tell that Katzen has directed the rest of the crew to show you the like as well. Dabwick doesn't see it at first, but over the span of time, this little bout of madness does pass. We pick up on the 2nd of Chthona. It is day 22 of your journey. Mile 210. Do we attempt the ritual again?
Yes, if Dabs says yes.
I'm ready. I feel strong.
Yeah.
I won't go running in.
You got this, Dabs.
Yeah, I got this.
So once again, having moved forward for a span of time from the trauma of your last visit to the Dreamlands, you gather below decks in that tight, packed circle. Squeezed in, Dora, Vic, Dabwick, Grip, Stasi, Barnabas. Out comes the miniature staircase, and it begins being passed around, feeling every single one of the steps, feeling it grow heavier and heavier, and larger and larger. Same bonuses apply, Katie. You got a +5, I believe, to all these checks. You gotta make 2 Arcana and 3 Planes.
Here comes an Arcana. 28.
Success.
Another Arcana. 35.
Success.
Planes. +5, 27.
And you are good. After 50 minutes of incanting, Stasi and Barnabas watch as this once tiny little staircase passes from Grip's arms into doors. It's as big as a door now. It barely fits in the space between the piles of lumber. She can barely lift it, especially in this weakened state after talking continuously for nearly an hour, clinging desperately to a state of concentration so intense it beggars belief. In this huge, awkward prop tumbles out of her arms, slams onto the bottom of the ship. And again, there is a dark and gloomy staircase descending into nothing. The spasm in the air happens again. Stasi takes 5 points of damage. Barnabas takes 9 points of damage as the boundaries between planes are shattered. The violence of it leaves them all weak and bleeding. Everything goes thin and wispy, and they watch again. Oh, can you all picture that great piece of art that Matt made for Chapter 16, which is the time you all first met Tima? Matt drew Tima's torso kind of coming out of Dora's torso. They briefly share one set of legs. That's exactly what Barnabas and Stasi see as Dora falls backward in a limp, bleeding heap, and she tears herself out of herself, rises to her feet, walks down the stairs. The rest follow. Whomp! Where there was once a set of solid stairs, there's now only this tiny little prop made of bone sitting placidly in the pool of blood you all just left behind. And that's the end of Chapter 96. Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Home Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's PAIZO.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at syrinscape.com. That's SYRINSCAPE.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and R.A., Paul and Shannon, Chris, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, J.H., the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
Click the tab. Click the skills. Can you find skills?
Stop. Yes. Did you find them? Hit the skills. Find the skills. Find the skills.
Are you looking on your sheet?
Are you even in
Have you
Roll20,
tried
bro?
turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, I didn't mean to click tell me more. God damn it.